Okay, so the main purpose of this tutorial is just the vanish, not the production. The production is cheesy, but many routines that I know, it will require this kind of vanish. And I just want to explain it. Now, this is how it is typically done. They put a card and then they vanish the card by just pushing and retracting the top card. Now, the way this basic vanish, before I even go further with the performance, they have to really show just a little bit, and this hand it will retract the card, but it's gonna move the wrist away so they don't see the retraction any further. Or you can just do a big swing and point to the hand, okay, as an excuse why you're moving the wrist away, so that's gonna help. So that's the basic vanish on the table. Now, the way I was trying to work this around was working on the same principle. I'm just trying to do a little bit more of a drastic change. For example, instead of just pushing the card out, I just want to use the other hand instead. Now, notice over here I have the deck in mechanics grip, okay, and when I take the card, the thumb reaches right above the index finger, and the grip is right here by the corner. Okay, just by looking, you know what I'm talking about on the grip. I'm trying to show the spectator just the card, the top of the card. I'm not trying to show the top of this deck of playing cards, just the card. So by covering, this is what's happening. I'm retracting the card with the thumb all the way down, away from the index, and then bringing it back to the top when I bring the thumb right out, okay, bring it back and now, okay, now the vanish. I pretend to grab the card under cover. This is what I do. Obviously, maybe this is a little bit more angle sensitive than the classic way, just to push the card and bring it back. Okay, but it's still a little bit more visual. When I cover, notice the fingers, they're right in front of the deck as well. And the retraction, it doesn't go sideways, it goes down. Okay, down, not side, it goes down. Right under this hand to cover, and then sideways. Okay, down and side, so the spectator they don't get a glimpse right in this little gap going on over here. Down and side, and by the same motion is going to help you to conceal better this move. Okay, now a second point you have to be careful is when I bring it back, and because that's going to be a little bit in-jog, do the index is in the middle of the way, I have to in-jog the card a little bit. That can expose a little bit more. So when you swing out, try not to swing too much, because you will easily expose this corner. Okay, so when you move the wrist away, you just try to move the wrist a little bit, not too much. Okay, that's it. That's the practice. You have to do it in front of the mirror. Now go down, don't go sideways, go down and then side, okay, to bring it right on top and right back out. And the third thing you have to be careful is when you bring the card back, because the index is in the middle of the way, you want to hurry a little to bring it all the way down and then out. Now in the performance, if you want, you can do a real catch with the same gesture and pointing to the hand. Somehow you fail. Then for a real vanish, well, not real vanish, but at least you know the purpose, then it's away. And you can just produce it in some performances, such as the invisible palm. It may require this move. Now the second variation, which is the same exact thing on the table, instead, when I put it on the table, it is like 45 degrees for air and on the table. Okay, so when I put it on the table, half of the card is touching the table, the other half is by bending up. So I am straight up in the hand. Notice they're looking more towards the bottom of the deck, and the same thing, you wanna pretend and then you didn't catch it, then go for a real vanish. Okay, now it is invisible or vanish. So notice the same thing for magician. When they put it on the table, they wanted to show the card, but it vanished. But by moving the card a little bit sideways, 45 degrees, I think it is a little bit more drastic. Now the slow motion on this, notice I tried to show just the corner, okay, and then do the move, the retraction. It is the same thing, go down and bring it back out, okay, show a little bit and then do the move and point to the hand. Okay, so now the retraction of this card for both for air on the table, the thumb, mostly this side has to be touching the card, the whole tip of the thumb. Okay, so you can retract the card as much as you can, because if you use the very tip, you want to be able to retract the whole card as needed. So you have to use the thumb as much as you can for a huge retraction, because it's a huge distance. Well, that's how it looks. And a minimum move, that's one of the reasons it is a little bit more visual instead of just doing sideways. And the same fact that you have to move the wrist to point the hand, it may help you a little bit more as well. Okay, now notice it with the thumb. The thumb is doing the whole work. Okay, from outside all the way in, under the index, bring it up. I want to make an important remark. I want to show just the very edge of the card right before the move, and then do the move over here. Notice the fingers, these fingers, they're also covering the front over here, so they don't see right here the retraction. Show the corner, do the retraction, point to the hand, and because of the speed, it looks more subtle. Okay, because you don't cover enough over here, they may see the retraction by the gap over here. So you want to cover the front, and by the gesture, you want to point out as if you have the card. Okay, and proceed to the performance, but don't do the same production as I just did in the routine. Now one last time from the back, just in case you're still wondering, just retract the card. Notice it is in 45 degrees. They're mainly looking at the top of this card and not the deck. The fingers cover over here when doing the move. And when it is done in the air, you have to go down and then side, don't go side. When it is on the air, go down and then sideways. Okay. Point to the hand. And now it is vanish, and proceed to the routine, whatever is the routine. When it is on the table, show the corner. Just do the retraction, which is a little easier than doing it in the air. And that's it.